Seeds in both the AFC and the NFC are locked in. The Ravens and Niners have dominated the NFL for most of the season and will get a first-round bye in their playoffs as their reward. These two teams faced off in Week 16 where Baltimore won handily, but obviously both will have different paths to the Super Bowl. The one seeds in both. So it's no surprise that San Fran and Baltimore are the favorites to win it all at plus 225 and plus 325 respectively. We know Dog's taking serious notes here. Among the rest of the pack, Buffalo, despite not having clinched a playoff spot yet, is tied for third favorite at 8-1 with Dallas. Defending champion Chiefs are 10-1, and last year's NFC Championship Eagles are 11-1. Okay, here's the question for you. This is a tough one and it's a very interesting one. So outside of the Ravens and the Niners, we're not looking at them. Who's the biggest threat to them?
Well, I'm going to answer the question this way. Okay. And by the way, these two are by far the favorites. So I think it's really a reach to find something.
Okay.
But the fat guy from Rapid.
Yeah, the former priest.
Yep,
yeah.
from the Vatican.
Yeah,
he is going to go to Vegas next week. And we are going to make a play. And I got this right in 18 when the Chiefs beat the Niners. I did the same thing before the playoffs.
Wait, I have a question. When we go to Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Well, he's going to go. Yes.
Is he going to come?
No, maybe I'll bring him down from Rapid City.
You should bring him.
But are they going to invite me to the Super Bowl? I'm not invited Monday's show to Houston. They blew me off there. Yeah. Am I invited? I guess we have to ask the boss, Stephen A.
Yeah,
we'll have to ask him. But regardless
of that, you could come to the Super Bowl.
I can. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Mrs. Mad Dog might be at that trip as well.
I'd prefer her than you.
Yeah. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to instruct the fat guy from Rapid.
Oh, God.
I'm going to say, Rob, we have some money to collect. Say, Rob, do yourself a favor. What's that, Chris? I want you to put money down. All right. What team? On the Browns. The Cleveland Browns. I'm going to make a run. 30-1 odds with Flacco, Karma, defense. They've already won in Baltimore this year. A week off before they start the AFC South. Yeah. I love the Browns to make a run. The Cleveland Browns. They are due as a franchise. 1964, Steve, in case you missed. 27. And by the way, Dr. Frank Ryan just passed away. And he was the quarterback of that team that beat the Colts 27-0. So in honor of him, thank you. In honor of him, Fat Rob in Rapid will go to Vegas next week. 30-1 odds on the Browns. I'll put a little money on it, and I think the Browns are the most dangerous team. There you go. How's that?
You know, ladies and gentlemen, Doggy is a learning TV. He's a Hall of Fame announcer and radio broadcaster, but he's learning TV because he just spent about 5 minutes giving you, taking up your time that you can never get back. Talking about it like the Cleveland Browns, like, oh, my God, it's a shock. It's breaking news. Have you been watching the Cleveland Browns this year? There's nothing shocking about your take. It's absolutely correct.
I thought it was
the Browns are the biggest threat to the Baltimore Ravens right now in the AFC. This is not only the number one defense, total defense I'm talking about, they're also number one in third down defense. By the way, they're third with 27 takeaways on the season. By the way, they've got a quarterback in Joe Flacco right now, leads all NFL quarterbacks in pass attempts, pass yards, and is tied for the league lead with Lamar Jackson with 11 touchdowns, all right? During this 4-0 stretch for the Baltimore Ravens, the Cleveland Browns are also 4-0. He's 30. He's going to be 39, I believe, it's January 16th, okay? He's a Super Bowl champion. Who did he win that Super Bowl with and for? With the Ravens, for John Harbaugh. And so if anybody's familiar with what Harbaugh likes to do, it would be him. So all of those things taken into consideration, along with the fact that Cleveland has a defense that can play against anybody in any offense, along with the fact that they historically have given Lamar Jackson some trouble, I see nothing earth-shattering about what you highlighted. It's factual. It's correct. It's not surprising at all. The only thing that's surprising is that you, of all people, tried to act like it was a headline where it is really no headline.
I'm going to go Dallas, and it's a big part of the path that they have. I think they get to the NFC Championship game once they lock up the division against San Francisco. And do I expect them to beat the 49ers? No, but it is the playoffs, And like we talked about earlier, these games against San Francisco has went a certain way, but they haven't been blowouts. And it's been about Dak Prescott and how he's played. Stephen A., we about to get the moment. I believe that wholeheartedly, that you and I, what we've been talking about, we're about to get the moment potentially with Dallas being in the NFC Championship against the San Francisco 49ers. And once you get there, man, like it's a 3-hour game. And yes, San Francisco is going to be favored. I'm going to pick San Francisco to win the game if they get there. But I think they're the biggest threat because they're at home throughout the playoffs until they go on the road for the NFC Championship.
Well, I mean, you can say that, but I don't know how you can be serious about that when you've seen how susceptible Dallas has been against teams that play smash mouth football and can run the football on them. I mean, to me, that is the weakness. I don't see that in Cleveland's defense. I don't see that at all. And so I understand and respect the fact in all seriousness because, again, I don't hate the Cowboys. I can't stand their fans. They're nauseating fans who, I mean, now that Jimmy Johnson is in the Ring of Honor, I think the curse might have been lifted for crying out loud. They might actually get to the NFC Championship game. And the last thing I wanted to hear from him was what he ended his halftime speech saying. How about them Cowboys? Because that's all I was hearing, believe it or not, in Pasadena. I mean, with Alabama and Michigan fans everywhere, everybody that saw me, how about them Cowboys? Like I told you, like cockroaches, rats, roaches, and Dallas Cowboy fans. A nuclear bomb could drop, and you'll see all three of those. That's just who they are. It's not the Cowboys.
But we rep.
Listen. The players. I got love for Micah Parsons. I got love for a lot of those cats. It's them damn fans that get on my. You know how I feel about my buddy Jerry. Now you know how I feel about.
I think deep down you love. I think deep down you love them.
I cannot.
I think
stand
deep down you love them.
No, I love to hate on them. I love to hate on them. It's all in fun. But they really do get on my damn nerves. I'm not exaggerating. They really do. Having said all of that, at the end of the day, I recognize the fact that the Dallas Cowboys are a formidable threat, and I think this is Dallas's best chance at a Super Bowl since 1995. That's how serious the Dallas Cowboys are. But I still don't put them as a greater threat to disrupting a San Francisco-Baltimore encounter to the Super Bowl than the Cleveland Browns, because when you've got a defense and a running game and a number one receiver with a quarterback who's experienced, not mobile at all, but very experienced, and the pressure's not going to get to him. He's been there. He's done that before. I could see Dak Prescott, despite the great year that he's having, getting a little jittery. I can see that happening. The pressure mounts. Pressure breaks pipes.
That's
backsides get tight. We understand what this is. I'm not worried about that with Joe Flacco. You might not be good enough, but it ain't going to be nervousness that does it to him. And it certainly ain't going to affect Myles Garrett and the rest of those brothers. And they lucky.
I think for me,
everybody's lucky Cleveland don't have Nick Chubb. Oh, my God, they lucky. They lucky they don't have Nick Chubb.
I think for me, it's about how well Baltimore is playing. Like, I think that, for me, that's the thing. I think Baltimore is a shoe-in for the Super Bowl. I'm going to go as far as to say, I'd be shocked if Baltimore doesn't play in the Super Bowl.
But can I say this to you? Can I say this to you, Swagoo? Can I say this to you, Swagoo? No matter how great Baltimore looks, they will not look that great against Cleveland. I'll pick them to beat Cleveland, but they won't look as great against Cleveland's defense as they've looked against everybody else. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of pressure, Marcus, a lot of pressure on the Ravens. They've been in this situation
100%.
before. They've laid 1,000 eggs. He won the MVP once, and they lost the first-round playoff game to Tennessee. If the Browns win that first game, they have a little momentum. How about if Buffalo gets to 2 seed, and then Buffalo would get Baltimore in the championship game, theoretically, and Josh Allen would be hot with a win under his belt? Listen, I know the Ravens are hot. There is a boatload of pressure on Harbaugh and an incredible amount of pressure about Lamar Jackson. Let me see him respond.
All right, so
I'm not worried about pressure on Harbaugh.
2 with the Browns and 1 with the Cowboys.
Yes, 2 Browns, 1 Cowboys.
Okay.
I'm not worried about pressure on Harbaugh. It's more pressure on Mike McCarthy.
I agree with that, too. And by the way, speaking of McCarthy, you think maybe when the Lions don't have any timeouts, you don't throw a bomb in the end zone on 2nd and 15 in the last drive of the game, Marcus?
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh, my God, that timeout.
Insane.
He is so bad with
that
clock
is absolutely
management. He makes
insane.
Stephen A. look good. He is awful with clock
Well,
management.
that's just
You got
you
one rogue
engaging.
piece of hair I
That's
gotta
just
get
you.
for you.
Rogue
That's-
piece of hair.
Distracting
That's
me
just
nuts.
that's
We're
just
going
you
to-
engaging in hyperbole. We all know I always look good, especially
Oh,
these
yeah.
days.
Stephen
Now
A,
he's gonna take care of my hair.
Let
See
me
you
take
later.
it.
Yeah, this-
Stephen A, let me take it
Okay,
to
coming up.
basketball, like how I think about the Baltimore Ravens,
won't
bro.
stay.
You remember?
stay?
You remember in the Last Dance when Jordan said Molly, what is happening?
My hair's done much.
He's
My
got-
hair's
he's
Listen,
straight.
got one
Molly's
wild
faking
piece
it,
of
Swaggle.
hair.
Molly's acting like she got up to fix Doggy's hair. What she really did was get up because she wanted everybody
He
to see
wanted to
that
show
dress.
off.
She wanted to show off the dress.
wanted to
That's
show
what
Okay,
she-
Yeah.
first
We
of
all
all,
know. We all
first
know.
of all,
Because you could have told Mad Dog
first
to
of
pat
all-
his hair.
That's right. You could
I
tell him
already
that.
took a picture in this dress, so I'm going to post it on Instagram.
That ain't
after,
the
so
same
no,
as
I
not
didn't
live
need to
television,
do that.
girl. That ain't
Second
the
of
same
all,
as live
he
television.
has one rogue piece of hair. Every time you have a booger in your nose, what do? I go, Stephen A, get it. You know, I'm looking at
Wow.
go to break.
I wasn't aware of that.
Hey,
But I'll just blow my nose. I just blow my nose. I wasn't aware. I mean, she's really paying attention. The boogie in my nose. I didn't even know that. But thank
You
you.
sit right here. Let's go to break.
I just
Stan
blow my nose.
Panucci,
I ain't
let's go to
ashamed.
break. The new year is
Bye,
upon
y'all.
us and an opportunity to turn a new leaf, but not for our angriest dog. Mad Dog telling us why he's mad.
I don't learn my lesson on Christmas Eve. And I bet the Chiefs, by the way, on Christmas Day.
Ooh, wow.
And I don't learn my lesson.